Hey everybody, Some Gadget Guy here with a computer upgrade. Today we're taking a look at the Samsung 850 EVO solid state drive, the 250GB model. And of course, we don't do unboxings here because we want to talk about the drive. And the thing about solid state drives is they're super tiny. They take up way less space because they don't have any moving parts when compared to older conventional spinning disk hard drives. Case in point, this is the caddy that my computer case uses to mount hard drives, and this is designed for an older spinning disk hard drive. And you can see that the Samsung solid state drive is not that big. It doesn't take up this much space. Not to mention that it's stupid light. This thing clocks in at 1.5 ounces. And solid state hard drives are known for being screamingly fast. It's maybe the single best upgrade I've found for improving PC performance. It's kind of a known joke that for when people first install a solid state drive on a system, they'll spend the first day just booting and rebooting their computer just to see how fast it wakes up. But of course we want to test performance on this puppy, and in my new workstation Hera, I have a Kingston HyperX drive, which I'm using as my main system drive, and then also an older Samsung 830. So 2 generations older than this current 850 that Samsung is letting me review today. So we want to see how the 850 improves upon the performance of the 830 and how it rivals one of Kingston's fastest drives. So I'm going to jump out of this video here, install this puppy into Hera, and then we're going to run a couple benchmarks and see how this baby performs.
Let's be honest, benchmarking hard drives is intolerably dull. For those of you like me with shorter attention spans, I'll be playing the 1968 zombie classic Night of the Living Dead in the corner of this video if you need a distraction. Samsung's 850 performs very well throughout a number of different benchmarks. We see substantial improvements over their 830, which makes sense from an upgrade perspective as it's 2 generations newer. What's interesting to me are the more subtle performance improvements over the Kingston HyperX 3K. Again, it is a newer drive, but Kingston uses MLC memory elements while Samsung has shifted to a 3D TLC array. To grossly oversimplify, single level cell, or SLC, is usually the fastest and most expensive setup. MLC, or multi-level cell, was something of a mid-range performance, mid-pack price solution for SSDs, and triple-level cell was a slower, even lower cost solution. In the 850, however, these cells are stacked kind of like Legos, vertically. Not only does this seem to squash the performance disparity between MLC and TLC, Samsung claims it allows for more space in between individual cells, which should greatly increase longevity. Futzing around with applications like IOmeter, Crystal Disk, and Samsung's Magician software, if I'm doing my math right, you should be able to write 50 gigabytes of data to this drive with 3 times write amplification every day for a little over 9 years. As this really isn't an enterprise level drive, it's highly unlikely even a heavy user consumer will be able to exhaust the number of write cycles on the 850 before they just want to replace the drive for more storage in a couple years. Happily for me, this drive also comes in a low-profile shell, meaning I can use it to swap out the old hard disk drive in my Lenovo Twist, something I couldn't do with the slightly chunkier Kingston. Moving to an SSD is one of the single best upgrades you can perform on an older system to improve day-to-day performance. Whereas my old Ivy Bridge laptop used to take over a minute after logging in before I could open up a web browser, once I've entered my password, I'm now able to almost instantly jump online. Boot speeds are faster, applications load quicker, though I did find that throughput on video editing was pretty much maxed out with the older 830. My render speeds on Vegas didn't noticeably improve moving between different SSDs, which highlights a limitation on the software to move information through the system. That might be a general note for this whole review. If you currently use an SSD made within the last 2 years, you likely won't notice a substantial improvement in day-to-day use. Of course, you can buy a lot more storage for the price than where we were a couple years ago, especially those of you on smaller boot drives looking to upgrade. And that brings us to cost. The 850 was a bit pricey when it first launched, but now you can find the 250GB version reviewed here for a street price around $130, which brings it right in line with drives like my 240GB HyperX. The Kingston provides a little toolkit and a drive caddy, but you'll get 10 gigabytes more space on the Samsung. Moving to this fancy 3D TLC, pricing and performance is comparable with MLC drives. It's not only a handy upgrade for desktop systems, but it'll play nice with a number of ultrabooks, especially those using low-profile hard drives. All in all, I've been very happy with the 850 EVO. Samsung is pushing some exciting new storage tech into consumer markets, and if you haven't slapped an SSD into your system yet, I'd highly recommend checking one out. I'll of course leave some links down below this video for more info on the Samsung 850 EVO and where you can shop it online. As always folks, thanks so much for watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe button for more reviews like these, and I would not be able to continue producing these reviews if you all weren't out there sharing them with your family, friends, and on social media. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will catch you all on the next review.